Let's open our project file. Also, we need our CPP file, ICOM Read and 4. And we also need to open H file. I already did some modifications, just let's go step by step. I added a RIT changing. So label, we need to take label, change caption to RIT, and let's change property enabled to files. So it's not active when RIT is off. Same with the label which will display the frequency. Also, let's take two speed buttons, add pictures left and right, and also make property enabled files. So when RIT is off, this property is not active. Also, let's take one more button for RIT on off. So let's run it. So RIT is off. Connect. RIT is off on the transceiver, so it's not working. Let's make it on. So now we can change it. I also did some changes in our main thread before we start in infinity cycle. While I did option to switch VFOA, function is inside the CPP file. Also, let's create logic boolean variable refresh, make it files. So while we read in thread, it's this variable is false. When so refresh is false. When we read everything, refresh will be true, and we stop thread for 10 milliseconds. It's necessary to send all the data to the timer to display it in the VCL, because in other case, when we reading and same time we display the data by the timer, if reading and displaying happen in same time, it may be error. So we need to stop the thread while we display the settings. So here in the timer 1, if refresh is false, return. So we not displaying anything. So it will prevent us from errors when variables same time writing into the char and reading from the same variable. In the CPP file, I added some functions: read status, read on off, read read frequency, and read write frequency. So we can use it now to switch read on off, check the status, and change the frequency. Also, I modified all the functions so we can use our CPP file in any IDE, not only in Borland. We can use it in Visual Studio or any other. It doesn't have any more VCL Borland components. It's read on off. Read frequency and write frequency. So here we added variables read data, integer read status, char read frequency. Also added variables AF volume, RF volume. It's for the functions for volume, but we are not using it now. It will be in the future, but functions already added into the CPP file. So how we switch the read? We create a Boolean variable switch. If read status is equal 0, switch is true, else switch is false. Then we stop our thread, pause thread, wait for thread will stop. Then if read on off is false, nothing else, read is switching or on off. Then we release our thread. So let's run it. Let's return to our thread. Read status is always reading, and read frequency is also always reading, because we might change it directly from transceiver so it can be displayed in our program. So I switch it on transceiver on, off, on and off. Let's check the buttons to change the frequency. Here in the main thread is also reading frequency. So we are not using timer here because we don't want to change frequency very fast. We just run the function on each click. If we want to lower frequency, we do direction false. If we want go up, we do direction true. It's last Boolean variable in the function. So we have handle ICOM, radio ID, read frequency, and direction. We don't need it. I used it for testing to see where can I get error. So read up and down is working. Now I'm changing read frequency and from the transceiver, and our program displays as changes. So we could do the same with the timer as we did for frequency change in main VFO, but we don't need to change it very fast. Basically we can use timer, just make timeout for timer for half of second, 500 milliseconds. Maybe it also will be workable, but from my point of view it's better to use just by one click. This function is V4AB switch. We will use it later for the button V4AB for split operation. Now I just added this function in the before we start in thread to always have V4A on the start. Unfortunately, transceiver doesn't have option, doesn't have command to read if it's V4A or B. It's reading only the displayed V4 frequency, but we are not able to recognize which V4 is on by ICOM CIV commands. So when we create form, we put VF4 is equal 0. If you want, you can put VF4 equal 1. So it always will switch VF4 B in this case. This for function is for volume, audio frequency and radio frequency. Function is already working, but we don't need it now. We will use it a little bit later, because in the next videos we will be working with STM32 board to make external VFO knob to change frequency and read frequency. In this, but let's add these functions, audio frequency and radio frequency, into main thread. So in the future we just will need to add options into timer 1 to display it on our form. So I didn't decide how to do it better, write images for volume regulations, or use any standard Borland component. I will think about it, and we will do it later. Next 2 videos we are going to build external VFO knob using STM32 board and rotary encoder. This encoder have a button, so we are able to switch some functions like between VF4A, VF4B and read, because button may have few options. So we can use options button short press, button long press, and button very long press. But I will explain everything in the next videos. On this AliExpress site you can buy this STM32 board with JTAG debugger.